Boom. He jumps, he runs, he shoots fireballs, he's kicking Bowser's butt, he's the best of them all. Hey guys, what's going on? We're talking about Super Mario. That's right, the coolest guy who can jump real high. Super Mario is a beloved character, the face of Nintendo. So that's right, we're talking about one of my all-time favorite heroes, Super Mario. But did you know that Mario's first appearance was in the 1981 game Donkey Kong? At that point, he was simply known as Jumper Man. Yeah, he didn't even have his name yet. Also at that point, he was a contractor, not a plumber, who was climbing all these ladders, climbing construction buildings just to save Princess Daisy. Not Peach. What's going on, guys? Welcome to FTD Facts, the channel where we give you facts on everything and everything, from the cosmos to, well, celebrities. But today, we're talking about Super Mario. So guys, before you get in this video, I want to know, who is your favorite Nintendo character? Yeah, you know what? Screw that. How about this? Who is your favorite Mario villain? Let me know down there in the comments below. Me? Love the Goombahs. So do you guys know anything about Mario's true origin? Well, in the original 1983 game Mario Brothers, this is a game where they hadn't become the Super Mario Brothers yet. In the game manual, it describes Mario and Luigi as two plumbers who are sent to investigate the sewers below New York City. They were to battle evil villains by hitting a power block or the block underneath them and collecting coins. Now this was the first time you ever met the real Mario. Although in Donkey Kong, like I said, his name was Jumper Man. But you may not know that the game designer Shigeru Miyamoto designed Mario off of Mario Seagale, who was apparently the landlord of the building where Nintendo America had been. Apparently he wasn't the nicest guy. He came bursting into one of the meetings demanding rent, and Shigeru was like, man, we need to model it after this guy. In 1985, we finally got the big game, Super Mario Brothers. The famous side-scroller game we know with Goombahs, turtles, and the legendary butthole Bowser. But here's a fact that you may not know. That game was planned to be the last game for NES. This is because the NES was already 2 years old before it got released in America. But the console was so popular they kept on making more games. Now, did you know that the reason for Mario's mustache was because Shigeru just couldn't draw a smiley face on him? The 8-bit graphics were just not good enough to draw a smile. Oh yeah, and as for his hat, the only reason he has it is because, well, Shigeru couldn't draw hair. Oh, and you may be surprised to know that in America they used to draw Mario as bald. Not lying. Now you may remember the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. People like to think of this as the first television show with Mario, but that is not true. The first television show to feature Mario was an American television show called Supercade, and it was an episode where Donkey Kong was being chased by Mario. Now remember how I told you that Mario and Luigi were plumbers? Well, apparently Nintendo has changed that over the years. According to the recent history, Mario and Luigi are now twins that were born in the Mushroom Kingdom. To be honest, I kinda like the fact that they were born in New York. That just sounded way better. Now in the original Mario game, the jump button was not going to be the A button. It was actually going to be the up button, but that got so frustrating that they said, screw this, we gotta change this. Now the concept for Super Mario Brothers was quite different from the game that we know. Now we all know this guy, Lakitu, the guy that flies around on that cloud, the Nimbus. But in the original version, it had Mario having a beam shooting rifle, riding a rocket or a cloud. That's totally different from the one that we know, right? Now if you've played a lot of Mario like me, you know that you can skip worlds by going through pipes. The only reason this ever came in was because of the game Excitebike. Shigeru liked Excitebike's option of choosing the levels in which you could play. So he decided, yeah, I'm gonna do it through pipes. Originally they started off as pipes, but then they progressed to become whistles. Which is also a Zelda song. Speaking about music and whistles, did you know that Koji Kondo is a little bit of a thief? He was notorious for doing the music for Mario Brothers and other Nintendo games as well. But if you listen to that song, you may be surprised to know that that song was lifted from an Abbott and Costello film. If you listen carefully, in the 1944 Abbott and Costello film In Society, the underwater theme is heard in the background as Abbott and Costello approach a ball. Whether or not this was intentionally lifted, we'll never know. But we do know for sure Koji Kondo got a lot of inspiration from old films. Now, did you know that Mario Brothers 2, the one that we know, the one that's like a dream, is not a real Mario Brothers game? Well, okay, maybe it kinda is. The original game is called Doki Doki, and that's because, well, the real Mario Brothers 2, which some of us who've played Super Mario All-Stars will know it's called the Lost Levels. The reason Doki Doki 2 had to become a Mario game was because the original Mario Brothers 2 was deemed too hard for American players. So American Nintendo was like, I don't think so, so we're gonna make our own game. The reason Doki Doki was put with Mario Brothers sprites was because Nintendo Japan Japan deemed Mario Bros. 2 as way too difficult for American players. Oddly enough, we do have to thank the American Mario Bros. 2. This is because this is the game where you get Mario's traditional uniform. We all know Mario as having blue pants and a red shirt, but the original Mario had a brown shirt and red pants. And when the Americans brought it in, they changed it up a bit. But then again, Mario Bros. 3 was already out for some time. Now, Goombas are the most common enemy in the entire Mario universe. But did you know, although they're the first enemy you see in the game, they were also the last enemy to be put in the game. Speaking of Goombas, in Japan they are called Karibo, which translates to chestnut people. So I'm sorry guys, they're not tiny mushrooms. I know some of you think they are, but they ain't. As a matter of fact, in the original Super Mario Bros. Game, the manual is quite dark. It states that Bowser used magic to turn the mushroom people into bricks, bushes, and into Goombas. And the crazy part is, even when you save the princess, it never really goes back to normal. Speaking of saving the princess, in most of the castles in Mario Bros., if you shoot the Bowser with a fireball, he will turn into a regular villain, like a Koopa Troopa or a Goomba, and it's suggested that those guys are wearing Bowser costumes. The Mario franchise is the biggest game franchise and has sold over 300 million copies since its release. The only one that's close behind is Pokemon. Back when ringtones were a huge thing for cell phones, the Mario Bros. Theme hit the top Billboard charts for 125 weeks. Now, Mario Bros. 3 is one of my favorite games, but when this game came out, everyone was looking forward to it. And to give the Americans a taste of the video game, it was featured in a movie known as The Wizard. Basically, it was a bunch of kids going on a road trip to a video game championship. And at the very end, they show Mario Bros. 3. I watched that movie. It was awesome. Speaking of Mario Bros. 3, let's talk about this thing. It's called the Goomba shoe or the Karibo shoe. Now this little shoe, as much as everybody loves it, has only been in 3 games. Dude, Nintendo, what the frig? Bring it back more, alright? Now Mario Party. It's one of the most successful franchise and holds the record for the longest running video game series. As a matter of fact, if you played the first one, you probably remember getting blisters on your friggin' palms. Actually, my brother did. It was hilarious. To combat this, Nintendo released gloves with the game. Now Yoshi is one of Mario's favorite sidekicks. But you may not know this, but originally Yoshi was going to be in the original game. But due to the restraints of the NES, they just couldn't put him in. And that's why we didn't get him till the SNES. Now let's take a look at the original Super Mario Bros. Cover art. Notice anything weird about it? Well, if you look at this closely, you'll notice that the image is actually from Donkey Kong and not Super Mario Bros. And secondly, if you analyze it even more, you'll notice that Mario is about to die. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Of course, we also like to think of Mario as a good guy, but did you know that there's a game where he was a bad guy? That's right, in Donkey Kong Jr., he was a bad guy that captured Donkey Kong, and he wasn't gonna let Jr. take him home. Now, for those who may not know, Bowser did not originally go as the name Bowser. His original name was King Koopa. That's right, retro gamers, you know what I'm talking about. Despite what people think, Mario does not hit bricks with his head. As a matter of fact, he puts his hand up in the air, jumps up, and hits it with his fist. Now here's one thing that's always puzzled me. When you jump over Bowser, there's this weird thing at the end in Super Mario Bros. People have wondered if it's an axe, people have wondered if it's a switch that brings the drawbridge back. But guess what guys, it's been announced it is an axe. Because if you look closely, there's a little piece of string, and when boom, you hit that thing, it cuts the string, and boom, there goes the entire bridge. Goodbye Bowser. Mario is also known for jumping. As a matter of fact, he's known for his triple jumps. For me, I didn't get triple jumps until I played Nintendo 64. But the first game to feature Mario's triple jump was the Game Boy version of Donkey Kong. And last but not least, some people want to forget this because they think it's corny, they think it's bad. Personally, me, I love it. Did you guys know that the Mario Brothers movie was the very first video game movie to ever be produced and released? So for all you guys who hate it, come on, give them a break because it was the first of its type. And besides, it's crazy and fun and just, you know, a popcorn movie. Anyways guys, so thanks for watching. I'm Dave Wobble. This has been FTD Facts, where you've been fact attacked on Mario. If you guys have any suggestions for any other facts for us, boom, put them down there in the comments below. Also, let us know what your favorite Nintendo game is, and guys, be sure to hit me up on Instagram, leave a comment there, and hey, who knows, maybe I'll get back to you. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!